Target weight, man. Target weight.
I'll take £5.6 now.
£5.6.
Yeah,
£3. Yeah, I think
I'm being optimistic.
yeah. This is what you call a good match, lads.
Glass half full, mate. That's me.
Today is what winter feeder fishing is all about. Tough matches where you've got to think about every move, and every fish today is going to be vital. We are at Old Country Park, a beautiful venue, and recently there's been a new competition born. It's called the Guru Feedercup. There's a big money final early next year. Lee's fishing a qualifier today. 3 people today will go through to that final. Now, fortunately, I qualified on the last qualifier. I managed to win the match. I had £9. I caught a big bream, plus a lot of little roach. There's quite a lot of little tiny roach in this venue, and I don't mind getting bites from any size of fish when the fishing's tough. And my £9 on that particular day managed to win the match and secure me into that final. I'm hoping today Lee can do the same. We're going to go down, we're going to find out all those little tactical changes that Lee's going to make during the day. We're going to follow him through the session, and hopefully, at the end of the day, he's holding that qualifying ticket.
I've got catfish right just in case.
It's not enough, right?
Before we get down to business, let me tell you, if you want to get better at fishing, you want to catch more fish, you want to do better in your matches, don't forget to click the join button on the Edge YouTube channel. There's loads of videos on there now covering loads of different tactics, loads of different venues. There'll be a video there for you, including the amazing underwater videos. These videos have taught us so much. They've transformed our fishing. We're going to go through the match in detail today, but for even more detail on the baits, the tackle, Lee's setup, my setup, our approaches on different venues, don't forget, click that join button, you'll get all that info. What a lovely looking peg. 5 minutes to go. Talk me through it, Lee.
Well, as we've said, it's going to be a rock hard. It's going to be rock hard. And look at the colour. It's mega coloured, like really like a tea colour.
What's the visibility?
Yeah, look, experience.
An inch.
Yeah.
It's nothing, is it?
Experience tells me when it's that coloured, it's never good for fishing when it's like overly coloured. So I've like spent a long time looking, so I don't know the venue at all, right? But the first time I ever I've seen like an odd little tiny fish top, like 20 metres plus. Like as an odd bubble comes up like 25 to 45 metres. So like, I feel like that's obviously where a bit of bait goes, where the fish are. But I literally need to think like anything, like literally anything is the target. So I don't know it at all. That's why I've got this many rods set up, because basically I've sort of gone 15, 25, 45, 60, and I'm not going to feed them all at the start. I've just sticked them up at that distance. So I'm probably going to feed like 45 metres at the start as that's going to be sort of my area where I fancy it for a bonus fish. And I'm just going to start fishing at like 15 metres and see if I can get a bite. You know, I'm literally, you'll see when I start fishing, the most, like the hardest possible way of fishing, like the most active ground bait, like just trying to do everything to get a bite. If I don't get a bite at 15, I'll go to 25 and have a little go there. But I won't feed anything at 25, I won't feed anything at 60 at the start. So, you know, the target is little roach, or like, they reckon like pound skimmers are in this area. Bearing in mind £4 could win the match, I'm literally looking for like maybe 1 or 2 skimmers, an odd fish. So I need to get my timings right, I need to look around, be on my game. I've never been here before. I'm quite looking forward to it, even though because I know it's going to be rock hard. It's not like I'm sitting down thinking, oh, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a good match. I know it's not going to be good. I just got to try to get everything right during the match to give myself those opportunities. So it's going to be interesting, mate. That's the sort of plan.
Very
anyway.
interesting. I think I'm going to just let you get on getting the rest of your gear sorted, because you've only got a couple of minutes to go.
Yeah.
Let's have a little walk along. So Lee's here on peg 38. Now, we've got some good anglers here today. Not necessarily in Lee's zone, but we've got, over that far side, we've got Mick Viles, we've got Nick Speed. Further down here, 3 or 4 pegs down, we've got Steve Ringer. Now, everyone here is trying to get a place in a big final. It's the Guru Feedercup, big money up for the final. And there's going to be 3 zone winners today that manages to get through to that final. It's going to be a tough match, you can see, winter conditions, lots of colour in the water, it's freezing cold. The venue hasn't been fishing as it can do, so predictions from a lot of people, target weight is like 3 to 5 pounds, something like that. I think if Lee gets that sort of weight, he's going to have a good chance of qualifying. The match was won here at the weekend. There was 24 anglers fishing the match here with all methods, pole included, and that was won with just £4. So it is a very tough venue at the minute. Like I say, a couple of minutes to go before the all-in. Everyone's chopping their worms up and getting ready. Let's see how we get on.
We have done it again. Underwater footage is a game changer when you're trying to learn about fishing, and we have gone and got some incredible stuff.
The clearest footage we have ever got. Big fish feeding right in front of the camera. We're feeding, hooking fish, playing fish in front of the camera. We see exactly how those big fish react in a fishing situation.
Baits such as pellet and corn, worm and caster, and remember, there is hours of underwater footage, method feeder, float, margin for big carp, shallow fishing. It's all there on the Edge website, www.anglingedge.co.uk, and now you can join on YouTube too. If you love YouTube, join on our Edge YouTube channel and you can watch all this incredible underwater footage.
So that was the all-in. Everyone's having a chuck in. Let's have a quick look down here.
Right.
Let's get right in, Lee. Tell me what you're going to do.
Well, like I said, I've got a little, like a sort of 15 metres rob. Is where I'm going to fish for, or got to see if I can get a bite. I've got a mix here with a bit of active stuff in it, like this like black roach, which is dead active, like really hempy. So I've just taken my normal fish meal mix, and then I've like basically put some of that into. It's dead active. Just going to put a tiny bit of worm. I don't want almost too much bait there. And look, I've got the tiniest feeder you could ever imagine, a little 3 square. I'm gonna, I reckon it's 18-inch deep where I'm chucking
So
it.
there's no hook bait on here. You just put a little tiny bit of bait in.
Literally, I'm just going to chuck this in twice, right? At 18 metre. There you go. Look, on this one, literally wind it straight in.
It's only shallow, isn't it?
It's 18 inches deep, Rob.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. Like there's no count there at all. So I'm not expecting to get loads of bites there, but I'm just, if there's a chance of like an odd little small fish, look, not even squeezed in my feeder. So I know the second that hits the surface, that's coming out, right? So I put them in like that, wind it in. So just a little bit of smell, a little bit of flavour, gives me a chance to look at where the guys either side are chucking. Like this peg faces towards him. So
yeah, you're in a little bit of a bay here, aren't you? So
yeah,
anglers are chucking towards you.
Yeah, so I had to be careful with what I'm going to do. And then my main mix, which is like an F1 dark and thatches here underneath, nice and damp. I actually sieved it off a little bit just to get. I kept some of it, but I just wanted something dead fine so I can control the bait. And then literally, I'm just going to put like like that many worms and that many pellets, and I'm going to chuck it in 5 times. Not a big feeder, a little medium feeder, nothing, Rob. Not even, look, barely squeezed in. And then I've got a marker to slightly to my left. So that's absolutely on it. So that's good. Wanted to be nice and accurate with these. So like, as you can see, I've not even, literally the second it hit the water, I've wound it in because there was a 1 second count on a bomb. So there's no depth where I'm fishing. I reckon it's about 2.5 foot there where I've chucked in, maybe 3 foot. A little bit deeper than it is closer. And I'm just going to do that 5 times because I'm not going to go on it straight away. No, honestly, that's the lightest I think I've ever squeezed a feeder in.
not giving it like any big shake because I don't need to. I know it's straight out of the feeder. All I'm trying to do there is put a nice little smell in the water with an odd bit of bait. And I'm not expecting to go on it for a long time, you know. I mean, I'm hoping that I can catch a few bits in that. So it's just somewhere where I want to be able to drop on at any time to see if I can get a bite.
Right, so you're putting 5 in total there.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you put those 5 in, and I can tell that. I mean, I'm looking at you, how you, everything you're doing, you're thinking it's going to be a tough old day, because even to the point where you've not even set a landing net up. What's that all about?
That's because I haven't set my landing up yet.
So do you think that's a job for me to do now?
That'd be fantastic if you don't mind, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to catch anything worthy of my landing net.
Well, I'll let you put that bait in, and then I'll set your landing net up for you.
Brilliant.
Steve,
Big
ring
skimmer.
up.
Big
Off the
skimmer.
mark, big skimmer.
2.5 ounce.
So that to go with your
1/4 ounce. 2 3/4 ounce.
2 3/4 ounces, nice one, mate. I think
I'm winning it.
I think you're in the lead at the minute.
Weird, never saw a bite.
Was it?
I think there was one on the trip before, you know what I mean?
There was. It looked like there was one on the truck before.
Why is it not pulling the tip?
No. Hey, oh, one next door, is there?
Where?
Has he got one next door? Seen the landing net going back?
What, next peg?
Yeah. No?
I think it just slid in.
Landing net's in. So let's see where you're chucking.
It's a big chuck, to be fair.
It looks a big chuck.
Oh,
Plop. Beautiful chuck. That's on the money.
not happy with that.
Oh, not happy.
If you're going to leave it... Oh, look.
Oh,
Joe
dear.
Langold.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave it 3 minutes, you need to know you're on the money.
Yeah. So because you caught that fish, you're putting a little bit of bait in, are you?
Putting a soft one in.
Yeah, you're setting it up for the next one.
Obviously a lot of fish in this area.
Oh, yes.
That's better.
That is better. What a cast.
I wonder if I see the bite this time. A minute. Put it on my fish counter.
On the old...
I didn't count the first one because it was so small. But we've got one now. Counted 2 skimmers.
There's not a lot happening at the minute. He's got one, folks, he's got one. So, just got back from Steve. Steve's got 3 ounces, I'm guessing. And he's just said he's had a bite, and now he's gingerly playing a fish on a tiny little hook. And I mean, it's a tiny fish, but this is what we're here for, folks. This is winter fishing at its toughest. Look at that for a little fish. Hopefully.
Missed him bite before.
Did you? You had a bite
Yeah, a
before.
little tiny bite, wound in, the bait was done. Sat here crying. He's got it, I've got him second time round, haven't I?
God, he's had it as well. Right. Hopefully, a few more of those, please. So we're down the bottom end of the lake. And if you can't hear me clearly, it's because the lake overflow is working its magic. Look at the colour in this lake, horrendous. You can't even see a centimetre down. It's ridiculous. So my old mate Daddy-O on this little bit of a point there, Steve Whitfield, he's struggling. There's a skimmer being caught there, probably about £1. Goose has got one that's about £3. So he is doing brilliant. I mean, it is a tough old day. Everyone's hoping that later on they catch a few fish. Obviously the water has got to be absolutely freezing. Chocolate brown, freezing water. It's not the recipe for success, but there's a final to qualify for. Someone's got to win the zone and someone's got to get in that final. So I'm going to carry on walking round. If you look opposite there, if I can zoom in and get onto it, that's the peg that I qualified from there. So it'll be interesting to see if he's catching any fish, or that little area's catching fish. And then we'll have a walk along around there, see how the rest of the zone's doing. And then when we get back to Lee, hopefully he's got a couple of bream in the net. Here with Speedy, just missed a bite. You got him? I think you got him in, yeah? Oh.
Get him next time.
So Speedy's getting a few bites, unfortunately, further down this section. We've heard that there's a £5. I'm going to find out what that £5 is, but I'm so on speed. He's had what, 4 casts, 4 indications, 2 little roach and a skimmer.
Saving myself for the big one later on, Rob.
Saving himself for the big one. I like your attitude. Little window feeder, bit of worm. Popping it out. What, 35, 40 metres?
41 metres.
41 metres. Look at this going out. Plop.
Nice depth.
Very shallow, isn't it? What do you think you've got? 4 foot?
Yeah, something like that. You get a count, you got 4 foot, haven't you?
I think so.
I'll just swim out in a bit.
Swim out, see what it is, yeah. Right, I'm going to see what Mick Viles has got on the next peg. Let's go round the corner. So, Mick Viles, next peg. He's on the phone. Rocket feeder. Plop. Nice cast. Sounds like he's talking to himself, but he's on the phone. Hold on. Company.
Hey, up.
What you got?
I'm on phone. I'll tell you what I've got, Rob. Not a great deal. I've got 2 skimmers that big.
Yeah.
And I've got 10 rocks like that big. And I've tried.
Tell me what weight. What weight?
I bet I've got a £1.
I tell you
Now,
what,
what's-
you're not
what's
far off
happened
it, mate.
No. This is the problem. So I set off with £5.5 in me. This is my target weight, which we're going to be £3 a bits and a bream. And I started catching. I caught 3 rocks that big, 3 ounce, and I thought I can catch them. I can catch £5 of them. And then the bank, Sean Taylor, who was brilliant on it, and he's already qualified, said, just to let you know, kid at next page got 3 skimmers for £5.5.
Yes.
And
Peg
I said-
9,
and
I've
I
been
said,
told.
Yeah, just here.
Yeah.
And I said, right, I'll stop what I'm doing then and start again.
I've just, as soon as I heard that, I was behind Dave Warren further down. I said, listen, mate, you need 2 bream, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So I've tried to mix it up a bit, and I've tried to be a bit more positive, but I'm not actually sure if.
I'll tell you what's since
that's-
I've walked
that's the
round.
score.
Lee's zone
Yeah.
is 10 ounces winning it, 6 ounces second.
Really? Did I see Lee lose a fish?
Maybe, I don't know.
I seen him.
Yeah, you might have
next-
done,
and
yeah.
then
It's,
next thing you were doing
it's
next.
snaggy over there, mate. So
Okay,
obviously the
right,
bottom's so
right.
nasty, he's picking up
It's hard to
rubbish
tell
from
when
the
he
bottom.
winds.
It is, because he's
winds
got a bit of a
like that,
cack-handed,
doesn't he?
with his elbow
Yeah.
sticking out.
Yeah.
Goose has got 1 bream
Down here,
for
yeah.
£3.
Yeah.
You got Sean next door to you with £5.5.
Because of course that's a zone.
That's the zone. This
Then
bank's the
there's a
zone.
zone all the way around here to peg 6.
Yes.
2, and then 64 up to peg 9.
So you're in a line here.
So this lad's.
He's
so
winning the
he's-
match.
Yeah.
Winning the match.
Typical of me to draw M
But-
peg in this section, isn't it?
I think £1.5 is second in the match. Sorry, third in the match.
Is it really?
Yes.
Trouble is, Rob,
You're
second in match is no good.
no good for you, is it? You
No,
need to
I
qualify
to
and win.
the match.
Yeah.
I've got to win match now, haven't I?
Yeah, you
That's
have,
the problem. Oh, not the problem, but that's the target.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to win it.
I think it'll go round.
No, it probably will, but I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of passing time at the minute. I'm savouring.
Oh, you've got your big hit to come.
Yeah, I've not been out there yet because I think it's the sort of place where if you're fishing for a couple of fish, big fish like that, you need to just let it sit quiet. What time are we on?
Well, I'll tell you what, when I caught my fish, it was late. And when
Quarter to 1.
When there was some bream caught last time,
Yeah.
last hour and a half was the time.
Well, I've put probably a bit more bait in than
As you know.
people around me. And I've got my rod here just to drop in over top of him. And I'm going to go in with reasonable size bait and just put it in, sit there and wait for it to tow around twice
Yeah.
to leapfrog.
Well, you've already got £1, didn't you?
Exactly.
So £1 plus 2 bream,
and then after
£7, £8. Blitz
well,
the
he's
match.
admitted to £6.
Ooh.
Admitted to £6. So he's streets in front.
Right.
Absolutely streets in front.
I'm going to get
Nick's
back.
had a few small fish.
He has. I've just been with him. He reckons he's
Right.
got £1.
Well, this lad here is called Josh, and he's very obliging, but he's upset at the minute because the dog's run down and broke his tip. And I said, you need a stiff tip on here for dogs. And he did laugh, which is good. So if you go and talk to him about his tip, you'll get some
Oh, yeah,
Tip-
it's an indication.
tips off him. Yeah,
Might take him a tip. See what
one of them
tips he's got.
pathetic roach,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, Yeah. Days. Happy days.
Happy days, isn't it? Right, I'm going to go and see if Lee's added to his 6 ounce.
I used to be a terrible angler. On the river, on the canal, on the lake, on the rod, on the pole. And then I hit the join button on the Edge YouTube channel. Now I catch one of these every cast.
For years I was the laughing stock of my club. I hated going fishing. Every week my mates would bully me. Sir Blanks a lot they kept calling me. It was terrible. Couldn't catch a thing. And now those anglers want to be me and their wives want to be with me.
Before the Edge, I was a loser. Now I win every time. Yeah!
Join the Edge? I'm not joining the Edge. Why do I want to do that? It's like literally ridiculous. You know, like I am so good at fishing. I fish matches every single week. I won a section once. What do you mean by default? Anyway, listen, I'm not joining any rubbish, two clamp it, don't care how good they are. I'm the best. Nobody's as good as me.
When I first started fishing, I had a cabinet full of cobwebs, but then I clicked the join button on the Edge YouTube page. Now I've got a cabinet full of these.
There you go, folks. It's so easy to get better at fishing. All you've got to do is hit the join button on the Edge YouTube page. There's loads of content that's going to help you catch more fish. The underwater videos have transformed my fishing alone. Then there's all the tactical stuff. You can be, like me, winning match after match just by joining the Edge YouTube membership section.
We're back. Tell us the story. Have I missed anything?
Back to the action.
Have I missed anything?
I've got 3 little tiny skimmers. And about 6 of them micro roach.
So what we're saying, 10 ounce?
No. 9 ounce.
Wow.
This
is like the toughest match that you could ever imagine.
That good, is it?
Yeah. Right, I'll give you the lowdown, shall I?
Yeah, give us a lowdown.
When I walked off from you, obviously bear in mind that was 40 minutes, an hour ago.
Yeah.
10 ounce was winning your section.
Okay.
The other section is being won on the far side with 5.5, £6.
Oh, right, wow.
The other section, down the bottom end of the lake,
Yeah.
is being won with £3, one fish.
Right.
He's caught his fish on that far bank fishing 13 metres, 14 metres.
Yeah.
Really dry ground, mate.
Yeah.
Pinkies.
Yeah.
Like fishing really, I know we're all fishing negative there, but I just wonder if there's a few more fish closest to the bank than we think.
Yeah, maybe.
Because of the colour, I've seen a fish swell next to when I stood with Speedy for a little bit. I've seen a fish swell. He's got a lot of trees over that far side. I've seen a fish swell sort of like 6 metres out.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if we could do something. I know it's shallow.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's 3-4 foot over there at the same depth, and it's like 18 inch here, which is what put me off. But I'm not against it, Rob. I fed a little bit of 15 metres at the start, and I keep looking, and maybe it's just the water. But every now and again, I thought I saw a little bit of activity. But
okay.
Yeah, maybe it's worth having.
But he's literally on the far bank, dry ground, mate. Because he seems to think in the matches they're catching on a pole, kindering maggots and dry ground baiting. Sorry, pinkies and dry ground baiting,
Yeah.
potting it in.
Yeah.
So he's feeding a little bit of dry ground bait, a few pinkies,
Just off that big
double
tree.
pinky, and catching his fish. Yeah, he's not chucking next to the big tree, but obviously he's on that peg on the far bank. And listen, he's on the end peg. He's got a lot of space.
Yeah.
So that obviously comes into it.
Yeah, but it's interesting nonetheless. It's interesting. You never.
I think you need to get to £1.5, £2. I'm going to say £2 is your target.
Yeah, I think £2's been my target for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
I mean, it's easier said than done, though, isn't it?
It's easier said than done, for definite.
Right, talk us through what you're doing then, what you're going through
So-
in a minute.
so-
Let's get a bit of detail in this, your approach.
So basically, I keep looking around and seeing how poor it is, and I think the options are obviously sit for a singular fish, which I don't want to do, because I feel like that is on a day like today, one fish is just pure luck. So I'd like to try and catch like 6 or 7 of these little fish. When I go out to 45 metres, all the bottom's clean. Like there's nothing. I come back, my bait's immaculate, my feeder's immaculate. But I haven't had a single tap there. And at 27 metres, it comes back covered in crap every time. But I have had obviously like 3 little skimmers, and I've had a couple of other, I think, pickups. So basically, I've got my ground bait, and I'm barely squeezing. I'm like just touching it on the feeder. So it's like coming out. It's got a bit of this in it, obviously, like I said earlier. It's got a bit of the black roach. Yeah, and I keep sort of like, once I feel like it's dried out a little bit.
So you're adding the dry ground bait to your damp mix?
Yeah, just literally like put a tiny bit of dry ground bait like that, and I've just turned it over. So like basically it's fizzing and popping and excuse me, and all sorts. Now, when you get a bite, it does take like 4 to 5 minutes. Yeah, I haven't had an indication before that yet. And all I'm doing is like the tiniest bit of chopped worm. I'm just going to chop a few worms more now because I've sort of gone through it now. But like the tiniest little, like this much, Rob, of like chopped worm, which is still like 10 bits of worm if you like. And I'm just putting that in with it each time, and obviously like I keep thinking I've got a really tiny hook on. I've got like a 16, but it's a tiny 16, like a 16 N10. They're really, really small. And I've just put a tiny piece of worm on it, or I have tried a single pinky a few times, but I've not had a bite on a single pinky. But I haven't fed any pinky, so maybe
a little indication. We're going to zoom in because we'll try and get.
Just saw that then, yeah. I'm trying to like those little skimmers, you know, the 2 I've caught, they've been right down.
So you're trying to slacken it off.
I've just been slackening it off because I've had 2 other bites where I've picked up and not hit it. I've had a bite that I've picked up and hit, and the other 2, Rob, I haven't seen a bite, and I've wound in, it's been down its throat. So I've only ever had like a tiny little, like you just said there, which sort of tells me maybe one's picked it up. But I just feel like the water's mega coloured and the fish aren't moving off. So
I wonder if, like with that little hook, they're almost happy to sit there and chew on it because it's a tiny little hook.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of trying to get them to the point of doing, because obviously the pieces of worm that I want to put on the hook are only small as well. I mean, I think you could even, I think you could have an even smaller hook, you know. I think you could have like a 20, like a nothing hook, and just let them eat your piece of worm down.
Playing a 3-pounder on a 20s hook, would you?
Well, no, 100% not, but what happens if I need 6 of them little skimmers to qualify?
Yeah.
Because this match is super hard, you know, sometimes we forget we're spoiled by fishing, aren't we?
Yeah, well, this is winter fishing for a lot of people.
You know, this is, I've just chopped that worm super fine. There it is, look.
Yeah, nice. Talk me through it, Lee. Last hour. Tell me what your plan is for the last hour, because it's not happening, is it?
No, it's for anyone. For anyone, it's like you know, it's absolutely rubbish for everyone. So, Rob.
Oh, I like it. We've just had a bit of a team talk, haven't we?
Yeah. So basically, one big feeder.
Okay. But like
super close.
6 metres.
Yeah, like 5 metres.
Yeah.
Gonna have a little chuck back on my 15-metre line. I mean, it's stupid shallow there, but I think we're fishing in absolute extreme conditions. You know, and obviously you've been walking round, you've seen it. You said like obviously the fish that are being caught close, even though we know it's deeper on the other bank. But maybe everybody's avoiding close on this bank because it's like 18 inches deep.
I'm looking around, Lee, and everyone's fishing a feeder. No one's doing it badly. Everyone's fishing feeder like 20 to 40 metres out, and everyone is struggling. So, with the colour in the water, do you think those fish might have come closer?
Well, that's it.
It might just be close, mate, and you might get. You only need 1 fish, and if it's a decent fish, And we've missed a few little bites, and it might be just a bit nicer to fish short. And
Yeah, well, this is the 15.
so that's 15.
That's 15 from earlier. And obviously that one I've put in close there is really, really close.
So now we're close. So we've gone 15 metres, and we've got a line at 6. And we're just going to see, for the last hour, what happens.
We're going to take a little bit of a gamble, Rob, and I'm basically going to have the full last hour either at 15 or 6 metres. And that is, I'm saying, opposite to every single person in our section.
Yes.
But that's obviously what we want, because at the moment, not a single person is getting a bite. So why would you do the same? Like, you know.
We're literally like the blind leading the blind,
Yes,
aren't we? None of us know what we're doing.
No, we ain't got a clue. We haven't got a clue.
This is like extreme conditions, isn't it? So I'm going to stay on my seat. I'm not going to get up and clatter around now because we are fishing short.
Well, this is it. This is the big hour. This is the big hour.
This is the time, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've put a slightly bigger hook on. I've got a 16N20 now, which is a wider gape hook.
Right. So if we hook one, we hope we're getting it out.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't really want to wind back a tiny roach either.
Do you think bigger bait in this colour?
Yeah, double pinky or like an inch of worm is what I'm going to go for. Something that I feel like I've got a chance of them finding. That's it. That's what we're going to go for. We're going to have an hour, 5-minute chuck, so it'll go quick.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
You know, it's 10 chucks effectively with winding in and that. At best, maybe 9.
Right.
So
we need something to happen though, and I think this is a gamble worth taking. I do.
I agree.
So there we go. Literally on the 15 metre. Not a big fish, but what is it?
First chuck, Rob.
First chuck. Just as not a big fish, but it's a little skimmer again. Like I say, in a section where 10 ounce.
Not being funny, Rob. That's a third of my catch.
Yeah.
It's now a quarter of my catch.
10 ounce is sort of in the qualifying place for a final worth 10 grand. We don't care what we catch, as long as we get to that qualifying weight.
No,
So the first chuck on that short line, we've had a fish. Maybe this is the way to go. Another bit of wormly, yeah?
No, double pinky.
Double pinky, double pinky.
Double pinky. It's double pinky, Rob, and obviously we fished it for like 45 minutes at the start, but I've not put any more bait in since. I literally just left it alone, and I will say, the times I've had my skimmers earlier has been like first chuck back on the line.
When I came the other week, I did have like, you'd go on a line and you'd get a skimmer first chuck. So I'm hoping it's not just one fish first chuck.
No.
Hopefully it keeps going round and we can make a few more bites.
Listen, if it's even if it is, Rob, I think, I mean, we don't know, but like the rumour was 10 ounce was winning the section. Well, if I've got 10 ounce.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, things. I think things would have changed in the last hour.
Maybe,
it's got to have done,
but maybe not, because you know.
Who knows? You just got to keep plodding on, mate.
Yeah.
If we've got 2 lines now where we feel like we've got a chance of catching fish.
I mean, what that 15 metre line has proved is that the fish don't care about being in super shallow water. Because I'm going to say, this really close one is no real shallower than there. That's really shallow there.
Yeah, it's like, what, of 2 foot, is it?
2 foot, maximum 2 foot, yeah.
Good signs though, isn't it? Good signs. What we got now, Rob? £2. Well, I think 10 ounce is next best in your section. Sorry? 10 ounce is next best in your section. Really? Yeah. Fishing tough, mate, and you're doing well. That's probably like 3rd in the match, what I've heard. Sorry? It's probably 3rd in the match, what I've heard, that is. Or getting on that way. Yeah, but 1 bream, and then I think one of them's a big skimmer. £6. No, I don't think there's anyone else who's admitting to more than 2. Lee sent me up because he thought his 10 ounce was going to be good. And then they disappear. Yeah. Wow. I think you're in pole position, mate, at this zone. I think you're in pole position. For this zone, anyway. Keep plugging away. You're getting bites, aren't you, as well? Yeah. Little pecks from roach. Right, keep plugging away. So yeah, Lee was getting a little bit nervy and he thought he might have a chance if he has a golden last hour. Maybe he has. £2 is the target. Probably Rob will have a couple more fish. Steve's admitting to 8 ounce. 8 ounce, Steve? The big 8 ounce. Saying £2. Yeah, he reckons it's £2. He's usually bang on Rob as well. Yeah.
I'm 1 bite away now.
I think everyone's 1 bite away. Right, let's go back to Lee, tell him the news. Things are happening, aren't they? I think my tactical briefing has come up trumps because we've just chucked on that really short line, that Under Armour, and things are happening. We've had a few fish on.
Well, yeah, caught. So basically, went 15 metres, caught 3 and 3 chugs. Not record pace, but 3 and 3 chugs, and then missed a couple of bites. Now that sort of happened earlier, almost like you catch the few that are there and then they get a bit spooky. Anyway, then the guy, you guys watched us feed this close line, because obviously, like Robert said, they'd been catching over there, but honestly I can't tell. It's like 18 inches deep.
Yeah, you chucked on it and you went, literally, I will eat my hat if I get a bite there.
That's what I said.
And then 40 seconds later, the tip's come round and you've got a skip on.
Well, I had a liner first. I had a little liner, and like almost immediately, and I thought, what? Was that me tightening the tip, or? But no, I definitely had a little liner almost straight away, and then we were 3 minutes in, and I've just caught that skimmer. Now that has put me onto £1 and 2 ounces.
I think you got a little bit more. I'm going to say £6.
£6?
Yeah, I'm giving you £6. Now,
Right,
Rob Perkins is saying he's maybe got £2. So you need 3 more fish, 4 more fish, and you're about there.
Which I hilariously would have said that was impossible with an hour, like 30 minutes ago. But I've caught 4 skimmers in 30 minutes.
Shows that if you find the fish, location is so important, isn't it?
I mean, maybe I'd have caught more if I'd had a fish closer in all day.
Yeah, I think so. When I walk around the lake, I'll come back and I just thought.
A couple of people walking around have said to me, like, late on in the day is the best time to get a bite close anyway. And maybe it's just all the stars have all aligned, Rob. I mean, it might just be a one-off fish, but
we'll see.
We'll
see. 3 more fish is the target. 3 more.
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, I've had 4 in 30 minutes and missed 2 bites. Yeah. If we catch another 4, we'll have a great chance qualifying. So we shall have to see. Very interesting, actually.
It is, yeah.
The whistle's going to go any minute, right?
And you feel like you've had a chance.
I've had a chance,
yeah,
for sure, right?
We just got to hope that that's it. You got one on?
I have, yeah.
Have you? Little roach?
Little roach.
Oh, superb. Ended on a fish. Let's see what the weighing tells us.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it's been rubbish, right? But I've got...
I'm going to say you've got £1.10.
How many skimmers have I got? 7. 7 skimmers.
£1.10.
And I've missed an odd bite,
You feel you could have got to like 2.5
And
pounds.
I feel like the fish have been closer than I thought they might be. If I could have maybe rotated around a bit more. Don't get me wrong, last hour, time of day, I've had that a lot in my fishing career, where you think you've sussed it and actually it's just time of day really as well. But I'm gonna say that 7 could have been 10. So if £3 qualifies, we couldn't have got it. We couldn't have got it. If £2.2 qualifies, I'll cry all the way back to Leeds.
There they are, look.
Yeah, so there we go, look, £2 and 1 ounce. Oh, that's gonna
be close.
It's killed me.
Go
It's
on,
killed
pull
me.
back.
Really enjoyed it. It was bizarre.
Not easy, but easy for 8. 2.8.
2.8.
Well done, Rob. Well done, Rob.
Top man.
Look at the stamp there.
Oh, he's had big fish, that's
Big
why.
fish, yeah. I think it's been done by ounces.
Hey, hard earned that is, isn't it?
Oh my God, that was a tough day's fishing. Sadly for Lee, just a few ounces off qualifying. Well done to Rob Perkins though. Brilliant angler, scratched his way to that qualifying spot. Other 2 qualifiers on the day as well. So there's 3 qualifiers going through to that big money final in a few weeks' time. Hopefully, Lee gets another chance and he'll be joining me in that final. Until next time, folks, see you later.